Republicans in Congress are holding up additional aid to Ukraine until the Biden administration commits to more security at the U.S.-Mexico border. In a meeting with Zelenskyy at the White House Tuesday, President Biden said lawmakers would be giving Putin the, quote, greatest Christmas gift by not securing funds for Ukraine. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe reports.
Tonight, a plea from Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelenskyy to the United States.
We are working to turn our battlefield success into peace, and we are heading there together with you.
The Ukrainian leader praised his country's battlefield success, noting it's taken back 50% of land seized by Russia. And in a bid to win over Republican skeptics, 90% of American security aid is being spent by the defense industry in the U.S. Standing by Zelenskyy, President Biden blasted Republicans for slowing the aid.
If you're being celebrated by Russian propagandists, it might be time to rethink what you're doing.
But the Ukrainian leader's visit did little to win over Republicans who say the aid likely won't be approved by the end of the year, despite the Pentagon warning it's running low on funds for Ukraine.
There won't be a deal until Joe Biden and Republicans reach an agreement, and that hasn't happened yet.
The GOP has said it will only support new Ukraine aid in exchange for the Biden administration agreeing to changes in southern border security amid a record number of illegal crossings in recent weeks.
Our first condition on any national security supplemental spending package is about our own national security first.
CBS News has learned the White House is telling lawmakers it might be willing to support new policy to expel migrants without asylum screenings.
I'm ready and offered compromise already.
What to do about the border is part of a bigger negotiation to provide another $61 billion to Ukraine through next fall, plus more aid for Israel and Taiwan. In Russia, a Kremlin spokesman said it would be watching the Biden-Zelenskyy meetings very carefully. And Mr. Biden said failure to act now could lead to Russian success later.
Ukraine will emerge from this war proud, free, and firmly rooted in the West unless we walk away.
And Ed joins us now from the White House. Ed, it seems like the news on this day of Volodymyr Zelensky's visit is not that Republicans are moving the White House's way, but that the White House is moving the Republicans' way on the border. What do we know about what the president might be willing to talk about in terms of these border policies?
Well, suddenly, John, after weeks of no action by the White House, we've finally picked up on activity in the last few days. The White House Chief of Staff and his team, and now the Homeland Security Secretary today showing up on Capitol Hill for discussions with Democrats and Republicans who've been trying to get some kind of an agreement that boosts funding for border security agents plus judges along the border, but then also makes changes in policy that critics are going to point out looks a lot like what the Trump administration used to do. But the president, who had already asked for more border security funding as part of this massive deal for Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, and some other things, has said in recent days he is willing to compromise with Republicans on this to get a fix. He kind of has to do that for domestic political reasons. If you look at our poll this week, immigration is a top concern that Americans feel isn't being properly addressed, and Republicans have been making a pretty compelling point that if you want to do security aid for other parts of the world, you got to worry about national security here at home.
So that's the policy at the border now with respect to policy towards Ukraine, Ed. Even if this $61 billion goes through, what is the White House claiming or the administration claiming about what it could do for Ukraine? I mean, are they making claims about how it would affect the way the war would go forward?
Well, it's going to give them more munitions, more equipment, more economic aid for Ukraine as well, which has been a big chunk of the U.S. assistance. And yes, the argument is that if you can provide this through next fall, it should help them at least float them through 2024. But I was struck today in his comments at that press conference. Zelenskyy said, look, we are doing quite well in the ground war. We've regained about 50% of what Russia took from us. Now we want to work on our air superiority, suggesting that whoever controls the skies controls the duration of this war. While there are Ukrainian pilots getting training on various jets that the U.S. and Europe have been providing, the president's been reluctant to provide any other air cover. So once again, there may be some significant disagreement between the two on how exactly things are set to proceed in the new year. But Zelenskyy made a fair point, and that is we've gained some back. Also pointed out, John, 90% of that Ukrainian aid is actually being spent here in the United States being paid to the defense industry to build those munitions and other supplies and therefore create American jobs.
That's right. A point Senate Leader McConnell has made, Republican leader. Third question, third topic. This is the life of a White House correspondent, Ed. For the first time since the war between Israel and Hamas started, President Biden has criticized the Israeli government. What did he say, and what did you make of it?
He essentially said today in a closed-door fundraiser for his re-election campaign that Prime Minister Netanyahu needs to make some changes and that his coalition conservative government is making it difficult for him to accept and to work towards an eventual Palestinian state, something that this White House supports and that much of the world supports, although there's some question about really whether the Palestinian people do. That's where the president would like to see things head. They've had disagreements throughout their 40-year relationship. They've known each other for quite a while. Personally, they get along quite well, but they disagree on policy. The issue here is this is the first time he's publicly criticized the Israeli leader since the October 7th attacks. And it comes, of course, as we've got polling and others do as well, that Americans want to see more criticism and maybe even less support of the Israeli government for its military campaign in Gaza.
Ed O'Keefe at the White House, 3 for 3. Thank you, Ed.